It all started when a friend of mine told me that she had an allergic reaction to onions, and yet now she was able to eat onions. And I thought, well, how do you be allergic to something and also eat the same thing? And she said, well, she had a cure. And I said, you have a cure? What is it? And she said, well, I went to see this woman, Marie, and that she had a series of treatments, and she was now able to eat onions without any problem. Terrific, because my son also suffered from allergies. He, well, quite frankly, he was allergic to just about everything. Peas and beans and chicken and you name it, he was allergic to it. Now, I didn't at first believe that because I thought, being a child, he's going to try and not eat vegetables. So I would have tried the same thing, but unfortunately I had him tested, and unfortunately he was in fact allergic to that because all of the tests came up like a porcupine. So I thought, well, I've got to do something, and I was kind of desperate, so I took Tom to see Marie. When we went there, Marie tested him. Now, I work in the physics department at the University of Toronto, so I'm very clinical and very precise about things. And what I observed didn't mean anything to me. I did not understand the procedure and still don't understand the procedure, but what I did find was that it worked. After Tom had had his sessions with Marie, he was able to not only eat the vegetables, which I was happy about, but he was also able to eat chicken, which he'd never been able to do. And he used to smell buckets of chicken because he loved the smell, but he couldn't eat it. And now, on his way home after the last session, we stopped in to Kentucky Fried Chicken, and he ate a whole bucket full of popcorn chicken. Tom's reaction to allergies was that his throat would tighten up, and he wouldn't be able to breathe properly. In fact, a couple of times we had to rush him off to the hospital, so it was quite severe. So in the end, that had been alleviated. Now, in the process of going to these sessions, I did mention to Marie that I also suffer from migraines, which has really nothing to do with allergies. My migraines were very severe. They were lasting 2-3 days. I'd have to stay in complete darkness. I would go through 222s like they were candy to try and stop the pain. And I had suffered from migraines from when I was a child. But Marie said she might be able to help me, so I thought, well, it's worth a try. As a scientist, of course, it's very difficult to understand exactly what Marie does, because being analytical, I like to know the ABCs. Unfortunately, I don't know the ABCs here, but I have to accept the fact, as any scientist would, that the conclusions outweigh the procedures. My son now has been 15 years without allergies, and myself, it's now been 15 years migraine-free. So I'm very thankful for the treatment.